Hi everyone, this is a pick a card reading for the next 7 days. This is a timeless reading. So from whenever you're watching this reading and listening to the messages, it will count for the next 7 days, which is quite exciting. So what we have here are three wonderful groups. I'm also going to do a charm reading. I'm going to pull more cards. I'm also going to pull like oracle cards as well, not just tarot. So we've got a lot of information coming through and we have these three wonderful groups. So we've got group one with this house. So maybe you're drawn to one of these houses or you're drawn to one of the crystals here because all three of the green crystals, even though they blend in, they're quite different, so I'll show you that. So you've got group one with this house, and you've also got here this kind of crystal. It's like it's got like a little, I think that's a pentagon on it, but that's the sort of shape. And then you've got here the group number two, which interestingly has a clock and a balcony, and two people together. This one's got some cute little animals. And then you've got for group number two this crystal, which is like that. And then group number three has got this sort of, it's more like a little tower kind of home with some crystals. Kind of actually looks a little bit like a church in all honesty, but we've got here the star crystal. All right, so whichever group you are most drawn to, take your pick. The timestamps will be in the description box below. These houses are so adorable, they really are, and we will have a look what's coming through for you. All right, so yeah, description box below will have all of the timestamps. Also in the description box below is information on the free reading giveaway that I do every single month. There's also the private paid reading information in there as well because I do private readings for you guys, and also they're done within 24 to 48 hours. And the last thing I want to mention is my Etsy store is online on Etsy. So it's Moonlight Tarot Store. Link will be in the description box below, and on there there's intention items, so face masks, there's handmade bracelets which are there to remove obstacles and challenges from different areas of your life, be it love, career, finance, wealth, evil eye protection. And I'm wearing a few of them here, but also there's over 180 varieties of bracelets. There's also necklaces and anklets. There's teas and crystals and pom-poms, tassels, embroidered cards which you can put under your pillow, in your wallet or your purse. Free gift with purchase for December 2020. But also if you spend over a certain amount in general, whenever, you also get a free gift as well, which is not just for December. So just thought I'd mention that as well. All right, so I'm so excited about this reading. You guys, you have no idea how excited I am. So we're going to start first of all with group number one. All right, so I'm going to move the other groups to the side. So let's just move group three over and group two over. And let's just start here. All right, group number one, let's see what's coming through for the next 7 days for you. So you've chosen this really beautiful, very warm, cozy looking house, which is just so beautiful. Just look at that, it's so wonderful. I'm gonna actually just rest it right there. Okay, and let's have a look. So you've also got this crystal with it as well. I'm just gonna put that right there. So your main card here is the Seven of Challenges. Seven of Challenges is, it's a hard card. I feel like some of you have really been struggling and you've been going through your own challenges, and the next 7 days is about getting through those challenges, being able to optimize your own personal energy to move around these challenges, and also to not put too much pressure on yourself. That's what I would say as well, because there seems to be a lot of pressure mounting on you, but there's a lot of things also out of your control, and there's a lot of things that also you can't force to make happen. So what I would say is let things flow. Spirit is saying, just like a river, a river just flows very naturally. If it comes across an obstacle or a challenge or a rock, for example, the water in the river just goes around it. It doesn't stop, right? When it gets to that rock, it just goes around it. Also similar to when the roots of a tree are growing, if it comes across, something like an obstacle, the roots will just grow around it. It's one of those things, or on it. So that's what essentially it's showing here with the Seven of Challenges. Let's see what other messages we have for you as well. All right, so there is light, and obviously there are certain things you can control, there are certain things you really can't control, but it's just saying here, like, go with the flow, rest easy, take care of yourself, and just know that you're doing your best, essentially, right? And that's all that counts, and that's what matters, actually. So let's have a look and see the rest of these cards. These cards are a little bit different to traditional tarot, so I thought I'd mention that. You've got here Keeper of Boons. Yeah. See, look, this is just really about taking care of yourself, doing the things that you love. Some of you may really enjoy to meditate or to read your favorite books, do some saging, spend time with your pets as well. And this is also about little things that you cherish in life. Could be your favorite foods that you want to cook up in the next 7 days because you're just like, you know what, I need that comfort food specifically. And also, playing your favourite games, which I'm seeing, and just really wanting to do things that you love. You might be watching your favourite sports or your favourite shows, TV shows, might be going back to another show that you enjoyed watching or films that you enjoyed watching in the past and just wanting to sort of watch those again, creating a sense of comfort. That's what the next 7 days is all about. It's about comfort and knowing that there are certain things we can control, there are certain things we can't control, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, let's have a look here as well. We've got here the oldest one, right? I mentioned this also with the whole sort of tree thing, right? The roots will just always keep growing around any obstacles. And also this is about knowing that you're an old soul. I feel like you are an old soul. There's a difference between an old soul and a young soul. Depends on how many incarnations you've had. And old souls, they're typically just so much more, I would say, wiser in a spiritual way. They're much more mature, and it doesn't matter on age. It really doesn't. It's just about how you conduct yourself, how you carry yourself. And you may also be spending perhaps some time with someone who maybe might be older in your family. So that's what I would say. It can be, you know, like spending time with the oldest person in your family, or an older person like a sibling, for example. But this is also about you feeling good about the fact that you are an old soul, and it's actually quite rare in many ways because it just is sometimes when you're surrounded by people that are like really immature young souls and you're like the only old soul that like really cares about certain things. It's one of those things, and it actually sometimes it can make you feel not so great about yourself. But here you are really just loving yourself and being like, you know what, I'm caring, I'm kind, I'm mature, I'm a good person, I'm gonna appreciate myself. Okay, so what else do we have? Oh, I love these cards. Look at that. For the next 7 days. So we've got here the Two of Boons. Right, so this is about balance as well. It's about overcoming any obstacles and challenges and really just enjoying your time for yourself as well. That's really quite significant. So some of you might here be trying to multitask with jobs, or multitask in terms of trying to get this together and that together and this together and that together. So there's quite a lot of like busy energy coming through here. You might be wanted by a lot of people, but I also feel like you're trying to create space and time for yourself. And then the Three of Spells here as well is really about you trying to do more for yourself as well. This is actually very much so also about manifestation and thinking the positive, and it reminds me about like defeating evil and bringing out the light. This actually really reminds me a lot about Diwali. So if you guys look up the meaning of that, it's got a huge story behind it, but basically it's about defeating evil and letting the light shine through in the darkness. And that's what I feel so many of you want here. You just want things to come together for yourselves, and also this is about manifesting and allowing the positives to shine through. So what I see in the next 7 days is that you're not letting the negatives completely consume you. You are picking yourself up, you're feeling strong, you're feeling confident in your emotions. Some of you might be actually doing maybe some spells, I'm just saying, but you might actually also be really looking out for yourself and really wanting to be patient and just letting also things just naturally flow. Once you've done your manifestations, let things flow. It's not about like consistently always 24/7 trying to manifest, because that's the thing with the law of attraction, is the more you try and do, the more you can actually push the outcome away. With the law of attraction, once you manifest, you let it flow. You do what you can and what you can control, and let go of what you can't control, and let the universe essentially deal with the rest. And that's the most important thing. Okay, so let's go to your next cards now. I'm going to shuffle for some oracle cards, and then we'll get into the charms as well. All right. These are really cute. They're like little trees as well. I keep seeing a lot of roots as well. Roots can also mean heritage and family, you know, again, spending time with family, spending time with people that maybe are a little bit older than you. Of course, we have got the house there as well. I just realised as well, my finger like shakes a lot in this reading, which is so bizarre. Has anyone got a shaky like finger or shaky hand around this time? Because I don't know, sometimes these things happen, but they also synchronize with you guys as well. Like sometimes I've mentioned things and you've been like, wow, you know, that's actually what's happening to me right now. So I'm just saying, okay, because my hands never really shake, to be honest, but in this reading it kind of is. So we've got here new moon, promise. All right. You might also be disappointed that maybe someone promised you things here and they just didn't really live up to that. But also, again, that's not really your fault. It's if someone broke their promise, that's from their side. So try not to blame yourself for certain things that maybe people have done to not keep their promise. It's also a time of cleansing and really looking after yourself as well with that new moon energy, and of course with promise as well. And promise also not to let yourself down in many ways. And what I mean by that is to also look after yourself as well, and not to neglect yourself just because maybe someone else has. So we've also got wind as well. This is activation. So this is really like sort of blowing you in the right direction. You know, activation is very much so about that energy that's pushing you in the right direction as well. It's being activated, things are happening, things are progressing, and you're on a roll here. Reminds me of this crystal actually, you know, it's like it's on a roll. And that's what I'm seeing there. So the next 7 days here is essentially putting you really on the right path for yourself. And just because someone else may have broken a promise to you or things like that doesn't necessarily mean that you should take upon that burden for yourself, right? I think here there's an energy of freeing yourself and looking after yourself and being there for yourself, and maybe spending time with those that are much wiser, and maybe even yourself, you know. So that's what we've got there. And then let's have a look at, I'm going to actually shuffle this way because my hands are small. Let's see another oracle card. Let's go with these, okay. You've got here potential gateway, again seeing so many trees as well, which can also signify the fact that perhaps some of you, especially since you've got some sort of like forest animals here, I think they're forest animals, please don't quote me on that, but it reminds me of forest animals. Some of you might go sort of walking or jogging in a park, forest, place where there's loads of trees basically. That's what I'm seeing here. So that's something that's actually quite interesting, because that can also activate and open up your heart chakra. Surrounding yourself in greenery or nature can really help. So there's a it says here potential gateway, and that shows that the more you are connecting with nature, the more you're connecting with yourself, the more you're connecting with your heart chakra, it's leading you to bigger and better things, and it's also taking you down the right path. And so in the next 7 days you may be more tempted to sort of go out in nature and to just sit there and observe it. Or for those of you that like running, jogging, walking, hiking, you might take that on board. So that's beautiful as well. And then you've also got here perfect setting. So some of you might also get into painting as well. You might also be dreaming a lot about how you want your life to be in a perfect setting as well. And you might be thinking, oh, if only, you know, I had this and I had that and I had this. But that's also a form of manifestation. So I say keep dreaming. I would say keep dreaming, but yeah, some of you might get into like painting or drawing and being quite creative in those ways. So, you know, you might be painting a beautiful setting. So that's what we've got there for the next 7 days. Let's do the charm reading as well. Of course, never neglect the charm reading. Okay, so let's have a look and see. I've just got the entire... Oh my god, sorry, it's like really heavy and I just hit my elbow. That's what it actually looks like, there's so much in there. I always hit my elbow on the abundance, which is this lotus with all of these sort of like coins in it. It's just a little reminder that it's there. Okay. Okay, so we have got, look at this, right? Seeing a lot of branches and roots and trees and leaves. We've got the bird on the branch, which again signifies the fact that some of you may be spending some time in nature. Or be hearing birds, be hearing animals, maybe. And this is also very much so. I mean, you've got some foxes here as well, right? So, again, you might be seeing foxes, but you might very much so be connecting these animals with like actual people, because animals have certain characteristics and foxes are known to be quite sly, so this could also be connecting you to people that are quite sly around you, being you having to be careful of those kinds of people. Then you've got some really cute animals, as you see right here, and that's about being around those that are there and supportive of you and nice towards you, things like that as well. So anyways, you've got the bird on the branch there, so again that signifies the fact that you could be doing things in nature. You've also got here as well the leaf as well. Again, it's a real strong energy of nature. Got here some, well, it's like a wooden spoon, but this is also about cooking. You're probably like, wow, I mean, like that was just the most revolutionary charm reading in the entire world, telling us what's coming in the next 7 days. Prediction: cooking. What I'm seeing here is that, especially for those of you that are not actually interested in cooking, you might feel like you want to try something new and that you want a way of doing something that's quite therapeutic, and so you might get into cooking as well in that sense. But of course, I see many of you doing that anyways. The spoon is also about collecting your thoughts as well and sort of gathering things up. And we've also got here the cacti in the little teapot. That's interesting, isn't it? It's something you just wouldn't expect, but it's in there. And it's got a little flower on it as well. So this is also about like home decor, decorating your space as well. This actually really reminds me of home decor as well. I think that's a banana leaf. I could be so wrong. But yeah, home decor, like decorating your home and wanting to sort of style things up or change things up as well. You've got here the charm for love. So the reading was not really so heavy in regards to love, but what I will say is that you may have gone through a situation with love that maybe was very challenging or still is maybe challenging and difficult, but what you're trying to do is put more focus onto yourself here and look after yourself. You've got the turquoise heart crystal, which is about solitude and peace and looking after yourself and not putting again too much pressure. This is really about just letting things flow, letting things be calm. Again, meditation as well. You've also got grace here as well. I don't think that you're like arguing with these particular people. I feel like you're just accepting what is happening and you're just having a lot of grace, and you're really handling yourself in that aspect where you're really coming out on top and just looking like a really great person, because there's some people that want revenge and things like that, but I just feel like you're an old soul, and B, I just feel like you don't have time for all of that because you know that you matter in so many ways. So see, next 7 days you're living in the moment, you're processing everything, and you're taking time for yourself, and I think that's the most important thing. You've also got the key here as well. It could also be, and this is just a prediction that could be not really resembling for everybody. Resemblance may not have resemblance for everybody, but some of you might have purchased a home around this time, or you're moving or something like that. That's for very few amounts of you, but the key also here suggests commitment towards yourself as well. We've also got here this little, I think this is a bicycle wheel. You might be riding on your bike or taking a little trip somewhere. We've also got the eye as well, all right? So it's really about you, right? When I think about this eye, yes, it can be in your name or it could be in someone else's name, but this is more so about I, as in it's now about me, and I'm going to take care of myself, and I'm going to be there for myself, because some of you may have felt like you're just going on this rocking horse where you're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's the same thing over and over again. I feel like many of you want to break the cycle. I've also got here an instrument as well. I believe this is a trumpet. I could be really wrong, but you might be taking up an instrument or wanting to listen to new types of music or instrumental music more so. So that is essentially what I do have for you, group number 1. Wow. I have to say the next 7 days is bringing you a lot of like good cleansing energy and a lot of really lovely things that you can do as well. Just lots of little hobbies and things like that. We saw cooking, we saw decorating. We saw some of you moving, even emphasis on music and sort of TV shows that you enjoy, and bringing that comfort to yourself. We see here some spiritual energy. We also see here some like painting as well, and yeah, overall you're trying to, you've also got some, a lot to do here and to balance, but you're doing so in a very calm manner. You're enjoying yourself, and again, there's some emphasis also on nature as well throughout the next 7 days, which we're seeing. All right, so this is your reading, group number 1. Now, if this resonated with you, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check out the description box below for information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, and of course, my intention items, which are on Etsy. Definitely do check those out if you're interested. And yes, I am now going to move on to group number 2. All right, so I'm just going to place all of that back in there. Let's put that in there as well. And let's take these cards away. All right, group number 2, hello. This is going to be a reading for the next 7 days. This is a timeless reading from whenever you're watching this, so I thought I would just mention that as well. You can also watch the other 7-day readings that I have as well. I've got so many of them actually on my channel, so do check those out as well, and whenever you feel like it. So you have chosen this wonderful home right here, and you've got these 2 people there as well, and yeah, just 2 people. I thought maybe there was something down there as well, but you've got 2 people here. You've got this clock, you've got this beautiful balcony. It's just a very cozy looking home, and you've also chosen, and you've got this green crystal as well, so I'm just going to put that right there. We'll see what's coming through for your next 7 days. Your main card here is the Huntsman. So there you go, that's your main card. It's not really that I'm seeing you going hunting or anything like that. This card actually, in a very spiritual way, shows that you're going after your dreams and you are not holding yourself back. You're also going for the target, and you are not, in a way, accepting less than you deserve anymore, because you have been in situations, I feel, where you've accepted less than you deserve before, and it has really bit you. It's almost like you're trying to, what they say, never bite the hand that feeds you. It's like you've tried to help people and they've just taken advantage of that and things like that. So I just feel like now you're on this path, and you're going to realize this more over the next 7 days, where you're just like, you know what? It's my time. It's my time. I'm not going to settle for less. I'm going to do what I need to do for myself, because I deserve abundance and joy and happiness. Sick and tired of always doing things for other people and they take advantage. So the Huntsman is about really just getting your goals and your dreams in affirmation and manifesting and sticking true to your true wants and your true needs. And at the end of the day, the universe will help you with that. So Huntsman here is about targets and dreams, and essentially unlocking those as well and going towards it, and not having fear as well. So that's what we've got here. You're a very fearless person in the next 7 days, where you know what you want and you know that you're not going to settle for any less than you totally deserve, which is great. I like that energy a lot. Okay, let's see what else we have. We've got here Seeker of Boons. Isn't this really interesting? This is a very it's a very, how do I say this? It's an intriguing card. Some of you here might be really interested in finding out information about certain people or information about certain situations. And the thing I see here with the Huntsman is that you're really trying to find something, right? And some of you might also think about past relationships or friendships or things with family as well, because you have got this card here, which is the 3 of Challenges, and you've got these 2 people there, is that if you have been like separated from friends or family members, or even in terms of relationships, you might be trying to really find out information about those people, and looking online or asking people around for those people. So I really see here that even though you're trying to focus on your personal goals and things like that, I also feel here that there's obviously someone that's taking up so much of your energy where you want to find out more information about them. Just take that as it is, okay, because it's a message coming through. But I do see here the Three of Challenges is that there is something that has happened to you where you may have been taken, for granted or advantage, and you may just want to know maybe how that person's doing or what they are up to, and that's your choice, really, and you may just feel, at times a little bit not so great about that, and so you're trying to find something, or you're trying to dig up something, and yeah, the Three of Challenges here really does show that it's frustrating, it's not nice at all. You may feel abandoned or neglected and things like that in that sense. But that's really interesting because you got the Huntsman, and the Huntsman is like really very, very on point, knows what they want, and they don't stand for less. But then you also have got that sort of energy where some of you might feel like, okay, I'm not going to contact this person, I'm not going to talk to this person, and then you sort of cave the next day and you're like, no, but I want to see what they're up to, so there is that sort of balance that's happening there as well. It's not really a balance, but you know what I mean. It's like you want to find out more about them, see what they're up to. I mean, that's your choice, do I recommend that? Not really, but it's your choice. So yeah, at the beginning of the week, you might feel really strong, and then you might sort of cave into that energy, but still you're setting your goals and your targets, and you're looking after yourself. You've got here the Keeper of Boons. Yeah, so overall, I feel like here, if you choose to like check their social media or ask around about them, it can sort of hurt you quite a bit, and then you would just be like, you know what, no, I'm not going back into that situation again, not even going to think about it. I'm going to take care of myself, I'm going to meditate, do the things I love, just take care of my energy and know that I am worth every single second, more so. So that's what I'm seeing there. It's like you feel really strong, and then you sort of cave into this, and then you're like, no, actually, you know what, this is where my peace is. So, things like that also teach us lessons where we feel like we definitely don't want something, we don't want to do anything with those kinds of people, but then actually, we sort of cave and think, oh, am I actually the problem? Or, oh, I want to see what they're up to, I want to see if I can, find anything, and then you do find it, and then, it can lead you back to yourself. It's a lesson as well. So let's see what your last card is. Oh, well, it's this one. Even though there's a bunch of cards here that went flying, ta-da, I'm going to take that one because it's the one I saw. And it says, the liar. Yeah, so be careful, okay? Next 7 days, be careful of people that are not good for you, that might actually make you feel like they are good for you. It's just going to lead you back to yourself. And that's the thing, is that you can... You know that some of these people are not good for you, but I also feel that sometimes that intriguing energy gets you sort of tied into that whole situation, and you might go on social media, you might ask about these people, or even maybe for some of you, you may meet up with them or talk to them, and then something not so great happens. It leads you back to yourself again, and it just makes you realize the kind of person that this is in the end. So we have got the liar here. Someone might tell you a lie in the next 7 days, and it's important to protect yourself and also to listen to your gut. I think that's really important. What strengthens your gut? Instinct, more so. Not just your gut in general. Health is good for your gut, but I'm speaking more so in terms of like, gut reactions in a very spiritual way. The gut feeling is what I'm talking about. Meditation in general is really great for allowing yourself to open up your third eye, which can allow you to make better judgments on situations and even people as well. I know people always say like, oh, I don't judge people, I don't do this. Thing is, we always judge things. It kind of is very, like, it's so bizarre because, if you're like driving a car and you have to back out of a parking spot, you have to judge where you are, you have to judge where the car is. If I put something on my table, I have to judge the placement of it. to ensure it doesn't fall off my table. If you are around someone, of course you judge their energy to see if they're a good fit for you. People judge all the time. It's what humans are born to do. So I know that, people, but I know what people mean when they say, oh, I don't judge people, judging people like in a very like superficial or horrible way where, people care more about looks and things like that. Well, I understand that whole aspect, but what I mean here specifically is about, meditation, being able to judge the energy of those around you and knowing what's good for you and what isn't, and being able to tell someone apart and whether you can trust them or not, and things like that. That's what I mean. That can help you to sort of judge the energy around you. So that's what I mean by judging. Okay, I thought I'd clear that up. But anyways, I know what people mean when they say like, oh, I don't judge people. Totally no, it's in like a superficial way. They don't judge people. Anyways, so yeah, you might really be undertaking meditation. Some of you may feel really just frustrated and angry with this particular person or people, because it could be more than one. I just feel like the best thing, and what Spirit is really telling you to do here, as I'm going to grab some more oracle cards in a second as well, is to really take yourself back to your roots, to look after yourself, and to make a list of all those incredible values that you possess and how this person doesn't match your set of values. Or because it can be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be, someone romantic, but it's really important, because I think every time you encounter this person, or you try to look them up, or you try to get into their social media, in the sense that you try to like look at their social media, there's something about this person that just hurts you, and it's your gut telling you that this person's perhaps not the safest in that sense, okay? And you'll know who this person is. Like, if this is someone that's like, if you're thinking about someone that's like really loving and caring and is always there for you, that's not this person, okay? That's someone else. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. But essentially the next 7 days is teaching you who to trust, and is connecting you more to your gut feeling, and to also trust your gut feeling, and to also trust patterns in people as well. Okay, let's go to your oracle cards. Got a lot of green here as well. That was pretty much done on purpose, to be honest, the greenness, because I chose the decks that have green cards, if you know what I mean. So, and also the green crystals, that was done on purpose, just drink. Okay, so you got here love, which is also about compassion. So this is also really about sharing your love with those that give that to you in return, and not just openly giving love to those that just take. This is about making sure that when you give love, there's that sort of equal footing in the connection, whether this again is a friend, a family member, or it's a relationship loving person, you know what I mean, like a lover. So yeah, this is about also having compassion towards yourself and accepting no less than you deserve. Heart chakra is activated here. Why? Because I feel, again, some of you are really sort of going into spirituality. Some of you might also be taking walks in nature as well. That's something we are seeing here, especially with this card as well. Got a lot of like forest energy. There's a little cave here as well. Some of you, even in your homes, you might make like a little fort, or like a blanket fort, or just a little, you might have your own cozy little space that just makes you feel really good. Or you might make like a little corner in your room that's just your safe haven, that makes you feel really, good. Or you might actually have maybe, there's a little cave somewhere that you make your own. But yeah, this is just about making that sort of safe space for yourself in many ways. But you might also go to the park and just sort of sit there and gaze. You might go for a hike, perhaps. You've got here ceremony, so invocation. It could also be that maybe it was someone's birthday that really triggered this, or it was an anniversary that triggered this, or a special date that you remember in the back of your mind that sort of triggers all of these sort of feelings of you sort of wanting to understand what's going here. The Huntsman really is quite a powerful energy, because it also shows in terms of your career, or if you're in education, just the targets and the goals that you have for yourself, which are very, very high. But I feel in regards to this particular person or people here, what I'm seeing is that your targets are not as high. So that's something the spirit guides are saying, is that you have very, very high standards, but when it comes to people, maybe you don't go towards that as much. So it's about setting high standards in your life in general, but also making sure you set those high standards across the board and not just in one area and then not in the other area. You know what I mean? So that's quite significant. Because some of you might set really high standards with your family, like, you know, they have to treat you a certain way. You might set really high standards with your friends, like they've got to be compassionate and they've got to be, you know, you want friends who are there for you just like how you were there for them. But then in love, you might accept so much less than you deserve. You know what I mean? So this is about you setting those high standards all the way across the board. Right, last oracle card, and then we do the charm reading. There we go. New experiences and possibilities. This is such a beautiful card. Okay, if you are scared of walking away from said people here and this particular person who may have lied to you, all right, Spirit wants you to know that new experiences and possibilities can come your way. Look, if this happened once, all right, new people can come again. New people, new amazing, exciting possibilities can happen again. Obviously, you know, it's different with sort of family specifically, but there are new experiences and new ways of sort of like being happy that can definitely progress, and that can definitely happen as well. So what I would definitely say is that keep your eyes open and try not to neglect the fact that there can be some amazing things that can happen. Sometimes when things get taken away from you, it can actually be the greatest blessing because it's allowing something 10 times better to actually come through rather than that particular thing blocking all of the energy in the space for the better stuff to come through as well. Okay, so you may also indulge in some new experiences as well. This can be to do with hobbies and goals, or you might decide to cook up a new recipe, or you might do some maybe flower arranging or decorating your space. You might do some painting or drawing and then hang it up in your room or your home. There's just some new things that you might experiment with. So it could also be that maybe some of you buy new clothes and things like that, and you want to sort of change up your look and your appearance. It's, you know, some of you, oh, there's also like a little horse as well, you know, so it could be doing, again, new experiences like horse riding, things like that, okay? So we've also got here this card as well, which says laughter. Look at that. You've got horses with the wings as well. So yeah, this is about humour, laughter. I see here children as well, and I've also got children here as well, which I think is really interesting. But for those of you that don't have children, this is about maybe watching some comedy films or reading things that are funny, reading things that are not too serious as well, and just having fun with things and spending time with those that just make you laugh, or at least watching things that make you laugh, especially if you are by yourself more so. Okay, so that's what we've got there. It's a pretty in-depth week. Like, you know, there's a lot happening for you, which you know, it's a lot, but it's not bad. It's not terrible in terms of what it means for you. There was a crystal that I saw that was in my hand and it rolled out. So yeah, it's gone all the way down now. Oh, there it is. It was this one. It's the purple star crystal, which reminds me a lot about you know, third eye as well. So some of you again might be doing quite a bit of meditation. It's interesting actually in the word in the word meditation, you've got the M and you've also got an N as well. So that's really interesting. But M and N can also be in your initials. It could be in their initials, or could mean something, right? So M and N. You've got here music. We've got quite a few actually here. Treble, is that the treble? Oh my gosh, you know, I used to play the violin, but that was a very long time ago, so I could read music, but I can't even remember what this is called. Is it the treble? Anyway, so you've got here some music emojis. You might be listening to quite a bit of music. Again, we've got the M as well for music. You've got here a whale. It's really interesting actually. Quite a few people listen to whale music and they find it really, really therapeutic and very calming. But there's something here about whales. So I'm just saying that. I mean, when I think of Wales as well, I think of National Geographic. So I don't know if any of you are like super interested in that kind of stuff with documentaries, but also you've got this energy here of nature, which we see a lot of on the cards. We've got here this sparkly heart. So this is about believing in the love that you give out and knowing how beautiful your heart is and just how special your heart is. If people don't appreciate it, it's their fault. It's not their fault. Well, yeah. Well, it's their loss, right? At the end of the day, it is their fault for treating you in a not so great way. It's not your fault necessarily. You've got here these two little they're like little axes or hammers. Maybe you're doing some DIY. You've also got here believe in yourself. So it really is about sort of taking matters into your own hands and taking care of yourself now and putting yourself forward. You've also got this one. It says it takes a big heart to teach little minds, and that is just incredible. That sums up the entire reading. Really, it does, right? It takes a big heart to touch little minds. Need I say more? It just sums up everything that we spoke about. Oh, you've got another musical instrument, the saxophone. I love jazz music. Maybe some of you are listening to jazz music or you're listening to instrumentals of certain musics, but you've definitely got a big musical energy. Some of you might also be learning how to play a new instrument or getting into that perhaps. We've also got a cross here as well. Some of you are really very much so getting into faith and maybe even religion as well. So you've got here the cross. Okay. So that's what we've got there. You've also got here a little rabbit as well. We've got a lot of like forest energies as well, and the rabbit here is really very, very cute. So this actually reminds me of like a little stuffed toy. So maybe there's something about like a stuffed toy that maybe you have attachment to. It's interesting, but rabbits also, some of you may actually have rabbits as pets, but obviously not everybody, but the rabbit is also like about intimacy, right? So what I would say is that some of you might sort of be missing that aspect, or there's a lack of it maybe in the next 7 days, just something that I'm seeing there. Got the swan, black swan. So again, it's like you're trying to just get through this particular time. We've also got here this toxic sort of energy, which, as I mentioned, right, there are some toxic people around you who are not really great for you. So it's about recognizing this when you see it, because if you saw this plastered upon a jar, you would not want it. Obviously, you know, you see this kind of on things that we do use for other things, or items that we use for other things, but you wouldn't like consume it, right? You wouldn't spend too much time around it. But this here is definitely showing that there's something toxic around you, and it's sort of like a little warning there. And obviously, you know, if you saw that on a person, you wouldn't want to really associate with them, would you? But sometimes we have to also understand that in another person. Does that make sense? And then you've got here the flower, which shows bloom and growth. It also shows here again that you might be spending a lot of time in parks or in nature. Again, I mentioned flower arranging. Maybe that's something some of you are doing. We've also got a shell here as well, which really shows you coming out of your shell. But again, still got like this sort of beach energy coming through, even with the whale. Even though whales live in oceans, but you know what I mean. You've got the ring here as well, so it could be again something to do with like a commitment that you had, which has been quite difficult to maintain. Again, could be with family, a lover, or friends. And you've got a crown here, which shows keep that crown on your head. Keep that crown on your head. This also matches this sort of love, compassion card as well with the colour of it. And this is essentially showing that you are very, very special, and it's also about understanding just how special you are and everything that you do for others. So take care of yourself, right? This one here, it takes a big heart to teach little minds. Just always know that. Okay, so that is your reading for the next 7 days. It was a pretty big one, not gonna lie, right? A lot of messages coming through. So this is your reading, group number 2. If this resonates, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check out the description box below for information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, and of course my intention items are on Etsy as well. So everything's in the description box below. And yes, take care everyone, all right? Take care. So I'm gonna take all of these items away to the side. And I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put it right there. Okay. Right, so let's get this group on the way. Let's get the group on the way. Okay. All right, so group number 3, this is your reading for the next 7 days. We're also going to do a charm reading as well, so stay tuned for that. Going to get some more oracle cards as well as the tarot as well, so stay tuned. This is a timeless reading, so from whenever you're watching this, it is for you. All right, so you have chosen here what I believe looks like a church. It's so, so beautiful. And you've got these trees on it as well, but it could be a home. It just is so, so beautiful. Look at it. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, I'm going to put it right there. And with it, you've got this star green crystal, which I'm going to put right there. And your card here, main card is the Green Mother. The Green Mother. Okay. Well, one thing that I pick up when I think about the Green Mother is just this really nice, nurturing energy, feeling safe, feeling protected, which in many ways, when I also look at this building here, I really think of protection, and that's why I think I'm really drawn to the fact that it's like really glaring, isn't it? Let's do that. Really reminds me a lot of a church or some kind of religious building that just gives you some form of comfort and brings together faith as well and brings together protection. So I feel like you're feeling protected, you're feeling comforted, you're feeling secure, you're feeling pretty good. I want to say that you're feeling pretty good. And the Green Mother also can very much so be about that sort of influence of wanting to be better in terms of your health as well. So a lot of you might be eating a lot of greens in the next 7 days, or trying to at least. This can also be about just wanting to incorporate more healthy foods into your diet, and it can also be about maybe going for runs or going for walks and getting your exercise kind of together in that sense. Does that make sense? So yeah, a lot of you might be sort of going to parks or just go walking around, jogging, maybe hiking, things like that, which we see as well. And you've also got some trees here as well, which is quite interesting. Some of you might be putting up Christmas trees, because at the time that I'm filming this video, it's close to Christmas, so some of you might actually be putting up Christmas trees, but some of you might also be doing like some stuff with trees, maybe like painting or drawing trees, or taking photos of trees. Like there's something about trees that's coming through, which is quite interesting as well. Obviously, you know, this is a reading that's timeless, so some of you might be watching this way past December anyways, but something to do with trees there, and just a sense of protection and homeliness. Yeah, so also got a star as well. The star here really represents a sense of happiness and a sense of joy as well. Let's see what other cards are coming through. And like a wish come true as well. Two of challenges. Wow, look at that. You're looking straight at yourself here. And I think that's why there's also this energy of wanting to improve yourself and actually feeling, I think, good about yourself. I think that you're feeling good about yourself. I also feel like if you see something about yourself that you don't like, this is you embracing your shadow and actually really working with yourself to improve parts and aspects of your life that you know need improving. So again, a lot of you are focusing here perhaps on diet, you might be focusing on exercise, you may be focusing on your sort of style, appearance, and things like that, even though that's a little bit more superficial. But some of you may want to sort of change up your dress sense and things like that here as well. There's definitely like a connection to a mother that I pick up here with the Green Mother. It's also about just really being proud of yourself and the amount that you've grown as well. You've also got here Seeker of Spells. There's a sense of adventure here that I'm picking up on, so you might take a trip, and you might be looking to find out some information, which is coming through as well. Now, this can also be in like a social media way as well, where you want to seek out information on maybe a certain person or someone in general, but the Seeker of Spells is also about manifesting. And to be honest, manifesting is very strong here, because I really see here that you want something in your life to bloom and grow, whether that's career or love or friendships, but there's something you really want to make happen. So I see a lot of manifesting, and I see you wanting to really, really be strong at the things that you're doing, but even stronger. You may also very much so be looking at yourself and thinking, okay, well, I want to be the best version of myself. I also want the best for others around me. I just want to feel protected all around. So you want the best for your family, you want the best for yourself, and you also want the best for other opportunities, which can be career and things like that. You just want to feel really stable. And some of you may actually be going to church, for example. Some of you might be going and visiting historic buildings and learning and growing and things like that. Some of you might be watching documentaries on religion, you might be watching documentaries on spirituality, you might be watching documentaries on interesting buildings and history and culture and things like that. So that's also something that's coming through quite strong. And then you've also got here as well the Child of Spells. Now the Child of Spells is really interesting. Now some of you may have children, right? So this can also be connecting more to that child or children, should I say. And the Child of Spells is also about being kind of like a child inside, you know, seeking adventure, manifesting, being true to yourself, enjoying and watching different things that are quite interesting, where you're also learning quite a lot as well. But also the Child of Spells here is very much so about not putting too much pressure on yourself and just living life. Like, how can I say it? You know, children, yeah, they, you know, do get emotional from time to time, but they don't like completely dwell in things too long. They kind of pick themselves up and then find the next thing that they really enjoy doing. And so I see that here with you as well, is that you're feeling pretty good, you're feeling pretty uplifted, you are wanting to enjoy the things that you want to do, you're not putting too much pressure on yourself here, you're just really looking after yourself at the very same time as well. So the Child of Spells here shows playfulness, it also shows just doing fun things for yourself, basically. And your last card here for the next 7 days, we're going to take the top card. There's quite a few actually that came out, but top card is Weaver of Visions. See, you know what you want in life, you know how you want to perhaps look and feel and be, and this is you trying to get to that place. As I mentioned, you're sort of looking into your own reflection, you're looking at the sort of challenges, and you're thinking, okay, what can I improve on within myself? You know, how can I be the best version of myself? How can I, you know, take care of me, and how can I be like this and that? So Weaver of Visions here is really about the next 7 days, you looking at yourself and thinking, okay, is there really anything that I could improve on or make myself feel better with? Because some people do feel better when they sort of change up their diet. They, you know, feel like they have more energy, or they lose weight, or they perhaps want to gain weight, or they want to, I don't know, build muscle, or they just want to feel better, you know, more energized, or they want to hydrate more and, you know, feel good about that. So yeah, you know, obviously things like that do have a you know, different impacts as well. You might choose to use certain oils so that it helps you to sleep or just helps you to relax, you know, things like that as well. It's very much so coming through. So it's also about, again, your future and how you want that also to evolve as well. So you may be seeking out different opportunities, going online, having a look at what opportunities exist in this world, maybe networking with other people, but also just enjoying your free time as well, doing things that you absolutely love to do in terms of your hobbies and your goals. And again, definitely feel like you're learning quite a bit in the next 7 days. Again, some interesting documentaries and things like that you might be very interested in. So that's what's coming through there. So we have here Island, Solitude, and you've got here Lotus Flower, Unfoldment. the lotus flower is, by the way, also very, very auspicious, very, very prosperous, absolutely incredible. I also have like a crystal lotus here as well, which has got coins in it. And also, the lotus is very auspicious because I believe Lord Ganesha, who is the protector, and remember we mentioned a sense of protection here, Lord Ganesha is the... I actually have it right here. I show this from time to time because Lord Ganesha seems to come out a lot in the messages, but is essentially the protector, remover of obstacles as well, and usually holds a lotus flower in some images. The other, which by the way is very significant, is Goddess Lakshmi. So Goddess Lakshmi actually comes out in quite a few of the other oracle cards that I have as well, and she sits on a lotus flower, or sometimes she stands on a lotus flower, and she's the goddess of wealth and success and prosperity. So, I've got a lot of lotuses happening here, but basically, this here is really showing that whatever is in your path will unfold, okay? Just like you see here with the seeker of challenges, seeker of spells, you've got here this flower which is unfolding, right? So it is blooming, it is growing, it's coming to fruition, it's flourishing, and that is what I'm seeing here, is that your dreams and your aspirations and the things that you really want to manifest will unfold. And I also see here, with this sort of solitude energy, you might be spending a lot more time by yourself. We see here a lot of reflection, and really there's this kind of energy of you spending much more time by yourself and doing things for you. You may have support here from one person specifically, but for the most part you're doing a lot of this for yourself, and you're doing it with yourself more than like being with someone else, if that makes any sense. So especially when it comes to manifesting these opportunities. So here it says be in service, which I think is so interesting considering you've literally got here what I believe is a church. So some of you might be going to special services or things like that. I know there is a pandemic right now as well, to be honest, but also online, I know this is going to sound really bizarre, really strange, but actually really cool at the same time, is that they actually have like live church services, they have live temple rituals and things like that. I've seen it on YouTube, where there are certain temples that have their own YouTube channels, or churches that have their own YouTube channels, and they do like a live service on YouTube. So just gonna say, alright, doesn't mean you necessarily have to go there, but watching it online is like you're kind of virtually there. You know what I mean? So there's something here about like being in service, or maybe even helping someone here who may be a little bit older than you, but sort of having that sense of protection. You've also got here, be your best self always. All right, so look at that. You've got the Weaver of Visions, and you've got here, be your best self always. These two really just sort of go hand in hand in that sense, is that you want the best for yourself, and you want to do the best that you can for yourself here as well. So, you're trying to just be the best version of yourself as well, making those little tweaks, and you have a lot of hope here as well, and you're really just trying to find the blessings at the same time, and you are very protected as well. So let's go to your charm reading. Ooh, got a lot of like just charms in general, like no wooden charms or anything like that. Okay, so with the child that we saw here, right, I think the child of spells, you've got here the monkey, so playfulness is definitely coming through. You've also got a camel as well, which is quite interesting. The camel can represent sort of heat, and also drinking lots of water, which is quite interesting there as well. But you have got some animals. You've also got, of course, this cat as well, which is very much so about resting, solitude, sleeping, taking care of yourself in many ways. And you've also got here as well a little teddy bear. So, there's a sort of childlike energy that's coming through, but also protecting the things that you really love and that mean a lot to you for yourself. And it's also a bear as well. So, you have got a forest here, so I'm letting you know, but you may see a lot of animals in the next 7 days as well. And these animals can represent different things. Remember, animals have their own personalities and their own personal traits. So Google what it means when you see a huge excessive amount of certain animals, because you might see a lot of cats, for example, you may see a lot of monkeys, depends on where you live as well. But if you see a certain animal so many times in the next 7 days, it can also be a sign from spirit to let you know of something. And you can also Google what it means to see so much more of it. You've also got here a star as well, which says I love you, I love you, I love you. Could be that that's also what's unfolding here, a relationship. We've also got here believe in yourself, which goes without saying. That's exactly what you're doing, right? It says here be your best self always. This is you really taking matters into your own hands. So you've got the hammer here as well, and this is sort of about fixing things, tweaking things, putting things in place. So again, it can be to do with sort of like diet, exercise, looking after yourself, being there for yourself, and sort of looking into that mirror and thinking, okay, what's going to make me feel better, so that's interesting. You got that. Also, you may be doing some DIY in the next 7 days. And you've also got here the Aquarius charm. This is about healing. This is also about releasing. It's also about not being afraid of the flow and the direction in which things go in. So I think that is just incredible. This is, of course, the water bearer. And it just goes to show, don't be afraid of the direction that the next 7 days takes you in. Go with it. Enjoy it. And that will make you feel pretty good as well. Could be that you're an Aquarius or that you're dealing with an Aquarius, but more so than that, it's about sort of healing and just going with the flow. So this is your reading. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check out the description box below for information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, and of course my intention items, which are on Etsy, as I'm wearing right here. And do take care, everybody. Bye!